Okay, we're going to start this video by showing you how to select some text. I'm going to show you maybe some shortcuts that you don't know to save you a little time, make it a little easier for you. You start out with, you've already got all your text entered and maybe you want to style it or do something to it to change it a little bit. So you can go anywhere in the text and say you want to select just one sentence. If I hold the control key down and just click once anywhere in the sentence, it selects the whole sentence. Now you can see the whole sentence is selected if I move over and highlight it, right? So I'm going to change that back to no color. I don't want that highlighted. Right. So I'm going to leave that set to yellow if I want to use any further examples. If I want to select a whole paragraph, I move to the left of the paragraph I want, and you can see the cursor turn toward a right pointing arrow, and I double click and it does the whole paragraph. See, now I've got the highlight button set so you can see that I've selected that. So I do it again, the color goes away. I'm going to turn that off. So if I want to select the whole document, I can triple click outside here while I have the right pointing arrow. 1, 2, 3 does the whole document. So I could select it all. Now it's all that really beautiful yellow. I just only got that one paragraph. Okay. So that's the way to. The other way you can select the whole document is do Control A. That selects the whole document as well. Okay. So those are different ways that you can select different portions of the document if you need to. Okay, other ways to select, of course, are you can put your cursor right at the beginning of a sentence, hold down Shift, and use the down arrow to start selecting. Now I've selected that whole paragraph. That's one way to do it. Right? You can see the whole paragraph is selected. I'm going to do this again because I don't want to leave it like that. Okay. We can select different areas of text. I can just drag my mouse across it is another way to select it. If I want to select another paragraph that's not contiguous to this one, in other words, these two paragraphs are contiguous, but let's say I want to get this first paragraph and the third paragraph. I select the first one, then before I go to select the third paragraph, I hold down the Control key, and now I can select two paragraphs that are not contiguous, allowing me to make multiple selections in a document so I can change styles. You know, if I wanted to have the text all be red, it would all be red in those two and not the one in the center. I of course don't want that because that's very ugly, but that's another way to select text. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple more ways to do changes in your document. One is going to be case change. You may at times have some text that is in all caps, for example, or all lowercase. You forgot to case your letters. So I'm going to just select the whole document here, and I'm going to change the case myself to all uppercase, right? That's hard to read. You would never want a document to be all uppercase, right? Or you can go select right here, it's the upper and lower A. I can go to lowercase, same thing. It's not what you want either. That doesn't look like a very professional document. What you're going to pick here, now if you could pick sentence case, and when you pick sentence case, it capitalizes the first letter in each sentence. So after terminal punctuation of a period or exclamation point or question mark, the next letter would be a capital letter. So it would properly capitalize your entire sentence. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is alignment. And alignment, a lot of you probably know, is something that is applied to an entire paragraph. You can't do alignment to just a single word. It's an entire paragraph or an entire document. So this right now is on the default, which is left justified. This would be center justified, which is kind of difficult to read. This is right justified, and this is justified, where both edges are set up to be kind of smooth. Right? This is more something that like you would read in a newspaper, or if you were doing columns. I'm going to put that back the way it is, but you can see the difference between the left edge and the right edge now. This isn't smooth, and now they're both smooth. What happens is Word places spaces between words, a little bit more space, so that you can make both edges very square. Some people think that's more difficult to read. Okay, now we'll talk about line spacing. So if we select this paragraph here, line spacing would be this right here. So when I drop it down, it's on, my default is set to 1. 1.5 is a little bit easier to read. It's a little bit less compacted text. You can see there's a little more space. That's 1.15, and 1.5 is even more. This also, from this selection here, I can drop this down and I can remove space before a paragraph or after a paragraph. Or if I go to this line right here, it opens my dialog box, and I can now work on the settings from within here. Now when we look at spacing, here before and after, this is paragraph, and over here this is line spacing.